Although you're talking to an April Fool. No, it's Chris Brochon here with you just for the first part of the Call Flow show, giving John and Noah just a little reprieve as we got a little special guest for us the first part of the program. Kind of going to do double duty this morning. I have with me Rosemary Jesionowski. Now, Rosemary's been with us on Call Flow before. But that was slightly different aspect. Today, we've got twofold. The first is the fact that we have a special guest coming to the art program. There's going to be an open to the public talk. That is coming up on April the 3rd, and it is dealing with photography. So we've brought our photography faculty in to discuss it with us. And we are happy to announce that after a year as a visiting professor, Rosemary has been offered and accepted the position and is now our photography professor. So congratulations.
Thank you, Chris.
Very happy that they offered you the position and that you accepted.
Me too, and I'm happy to be here.
The year you were here as a visiting artist, boy, I told them, I said, you came in just before classes started and saw the students and like, okay, let's get to work. Mm-hmm. And started cleaning and organizing, and I thought, this is a lady right after my heart.
Yeah, the number of times I came down and stole your broom.
That was okay. I knew where it was. So, well, since we've started on that topic, let's discuss that first. Okay. So, you've been teaching now, we were talking a little before, 20 years.
20 years, it's true.
So that's
wow. It amazes me every time I think about how long and varied and interesting my career has been, but it's always been in education.
Well, it's interesting. You've had a very interesting career in photography in itself. Some of our listeners may have come when you were applying. Of course, you had to give an artist lecture, which was open to the public. So they may have seen some of your work and some of your talk. But for those who haven't, let's take a brief journey and on, or your path. So it was your father who got you involved. And how did things progress?
Well, yeah, my dad was very interested in photography, and so he, even when I was a teenager, built a makeshift darkroom in the stairwell of our house. He made a little fold-down floor and a fold-down countertop, and we made pinhole cameras and made pinhole photographs, which is a very rudimentary form of photography, but also really magical. And I remember he lent me his 35 millimeter camera to use once he felt that I was capable of not, breaking it. Although those cameras are pretty heavy duty and it's hard to break them. And then I went on to college, and I started as a dance major, actually. And after an injury, I needed to change my major, and I knew that I was spending most of my time in the art building, so I knew it needed to be art. And with my experience in photography and having enjoyed my first photo class in college, I decided to declare my major in photography, and the rest is history.
The rest is history, as they say, right? You really have gotten into some really interesting concepts, I guess, as far as your photography. If someone was to look at some of your more recent work, it might look like you took photos through a telescope of the moon or of some foreign planet or something, but it's not that at all. It's a total illusion. You have created these miniature things and put them in little dark boxes and hung them, and it really is great. Where's that little inspiration for that come from, or how did that develop?
That's a great question. That's a really great question. I think it's partially that I really like the idea of building things to be photographed. and that those things no longer exist after the photograph is made. So the planetary bodies or the moons that you might see in some of my work, those don't exist in real life anymore.
You just trash it once it's done.
Once it's done, once I've used it. I don't have space to store that many moons.
Yeah, well, hang them from the ceiling.
But there's one that I include when I exhibit the work. But I really enjoy building things with my hands, and so that's a way for me to be able to incorporate that. But I also really like piquing the viewer's curiosity, and I think often in my work I have this illusion that makes the viewer go, And
is it? To me, especially because a lot of these are black and white photos, it's very reminiscent of early film.
Yeah.
The early French Luminaire style where they were doing Jules Verne stuff. Yeah, and if you're really paying attention, you can actually see the string holding the fake planets. But it's kind of got that quality to it.
Yeah.
They look like period photos that were taken maybe 100 years ago.
Yeah. And in fact, the process I'm using is over 100 years old.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm making tintypes. And so this is a wet plate process, and it was developed in the 1850s and was very popular for about 50 years. And I'm really interested in the history of photography, so I was naturally gravitated towards this process.
Right, historical process. And it plays into, I think, if I'm right in saying this, your latest thing, which is photos of potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, they have that same kind of planetary quality.
Yeah, and that's... Yeah, I was going through the possibilities of what to photograph and what to sculpt, and I was like, well, I'm going to cast a mold of a potato so that I can make multiple plaster potatoes. And then I thought, well, why am I going through all this work when I could just photograph the potato? And it looks like a moon. It's got the crevices, it's got the texture, and it's just weird enough that it could be either planet or potato. So then I also every time I do a photo shoot, I have to do lighting tests. And so there's a practicality to it too, where I know the potato. And so when I do my
Where's
lighting
the right
tests,
shadow?
I can use it as my test model.
Well, you're inspiring me to take better. I like nature photos, birds, flowers, things like that. But I am more of a thought process when I'm out walking in the woods or walking through the art of, what's the best angle? What do I really want to focus and what do I want to put out of focus? And so you are inspiring me to be a better photographer.
Wonderful.
And I am looking forward to taking photo classes.
I'm looking forward to having you.
Now let's talk about our guest. So this is another photographer who is out from the coast.
Yeah, she is. This is Jamie Robertson. Will be visiting us from Old Dominion University.
Okay.
And this is on Thursday, April 3rd.
Yep.
And her lecture, open to the public, will be at 3 p.m. in Bedford Hall, room 111. Mm-hmm. And Jamie is actually originally from Houston. And I had the opportunity to meet her one day because she exhibited work at the university where I was previously in Louisiana at McNeese State University. And she came to drop off her work, and I really loved her imagery, and she was really great to talk to. And so when I was thinking about a guest to bring in, she came to mind. And when I realized that she was at ODU, she's been there, I think, for maybe a year and a half, I thought, wow, this is great. She's in the neighborhood. She can come and speak to our community and our students.
Now, I noticed that she works with Lumen prints is what it's called. So for the layperson, what are Lumen prints?
Well, let's see. So she's giving a workshop to my students on Lumen prints.
Right.
And they are sort of a form of photogram. It's a cameraless form of photography where you take photo paper and place items on the photo paper. But then you bring it out into the light, into the UV light, into the sun. And the sunlight affects the paper differently than the darkroom lights.
Right. So that's that blue paper that we see, that blue, like when we were little kids and you'd put a fern or a leaf on it in elementary school. This is the high-end version of that.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
But it's that a lot of people I don't even know if they still do that in elementary school.
Well, I don't know if they do it in school.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
you can buy a little sunprint kit.
Yeah. They did it when I was in elementary. I can remember,
Oh, it's fun.
put a little leaf on there, and it was like, oh my, wow, this is just amazing. It's like magic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Like so much of photography.
It's magic. And I guess, in a lot of respects, it really is. I have noticed particularly, and I got that nice digital, and you've got that wonderful screen, so you can see what you took a picture of. But until you really see the image, like on your computer screen, you really can't tell how well or how bad that image came out.
Yeah.
It looks clear, and then on the screen I go,
oh no.
it's terribly blurry. I got nothing I wanted.
Yeah, or your color balance is off or whatever. Yeah. Now, Jamie does more than Lumen prints.
Okay.
She also makes digital images and video. And her work is also conceptually driven. So here from her bio, born and raised in Houston, her Texas roots inform her practice as she investigates the landscape of American South as a living archive of Black life. And her work has been exhibited nationally in many group shows and solo exhibitions.
Wow.
And she published a book called Charting the Afroscape of Leon County, Texas, in December 2020 with Fifth Wheel Press.
Interesting.
So
I mean, I love there's a photo for the promotional poster, which if you can buy the radio station, they'll have a copy in the window. You'll be able to see this photo. I mean, it's just a photo shot into the woods.
Yeah.
But there's so many things about it. I mean, the beautiful imagery of the bark of this pine that she's got, and then the understory shrubs, what look to be, I think, dogwoods. But it's kind of hard to tell, being that it is not a color photo.
Right.
Which I think adds to the mystery. I think that's some of the thing I like. I think that's what I find so interesting about a lot of your work, is there is this mystery of what's real, what's not, and there's a lot of the image is very ephemeral.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the word that comes to mind to me.
And we can see that in this image of Jamie's as well.
Very much so. It almost looks like there might be animals in the background, but you're not sure. But that should be really great. But do want to invite everyone to come out. It is April the 3rd. Again, the talk begins at 3 o'clock. It is in the Bedford Lecture Hall, which is room 111. There is visitor parking just up the hill, the other side of C-Stack, and we invite everybody to come. The artist talks that we do, which there are others coming up as well. There'll be another one on pop-up bookmaking we've got coming up.
Yes, Colette Fu.
Yeah, who does these massive, I mean, the books are like the size of this studio.
They're amazing.
They're huge pop-ups. And hopefully we'll be able to get other faculty in and we'll discuss that with the public. But all of these talks are open to the public, so we invite everybody to come out, inspire your inner artist.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So for anybody who's interested in seeing some photo work from a local photographer, you also will have the chance to meet Rosemary if you'd like, if you can come by. And we'd love to have you.
Absolutely. Yeah,
wonderful.
We look forward to seeing you.
Yes. And we are happy to have you permanently now as part of our art program here at Longwood. I will also put out the reminder that the art building, the Bedford building, which is over by the duck pond, that far into campus, the building is open every weekday from 7:30 to 5 to the public. There are exhibits in the gallery. Right now is the International Longwood Animated Film Festival. So you can come and sit down for about half an hour, watch all the little short animation films, and vote for this year's winners. All of our artist talks are open, and there is always artwork in the building, some by the faculty, some by the students. We would love you to come by and see the work that is there. If you've got any questions about anything, you can reach out to us either on social media as Longwood Arts, or you're welcome to call me at my office. Hopefully I am in it at the time. And we'll be able to answer the phone and can answer your questions at 395-4964. So we look forward to Jamie, and I look forward to my class with you.
Yeah, and I look forward to both as well.
Well, it's great. Rosemary, thank you. Happy to have you back on the air again.
Thanks, Chris.
And until we move on to something new, I will get things ready here to let John and Noah back in the studio. If I can remember what the heck I'm supposed to. You get it is like riding a bike.
Yeah, muscle memory.
But at the same time, you can still fall off if you don't pay attention. Thanks again.
Thank you.
And with those birthdays, possible anniversaries, as he's running back to the studio, knowing that full well it's his time, I present to you Noah Massage.
What are you talking about running, John?
Looked like he took off like the Flash there for a second.
I was just checking birthdays, Well, we do have a birthday list in front of me right now.
Good.
So we're going to go ahead and read those off now. John. John. All right.
Your new name is... There you go. Instead of Noah.
Okay. What's today again? The
Today
31st?
is Monday. Oh, the 31st. Yeah, last day of the month.
Wow.
Thank you for joining.
We have some very special birthdays
All right.
for today. Starting off, we have Caitlin Myers celebrating a birthday today. Also, Jessica Claiborne, Tremaine Rainey. Rainey is the last name, Rainey. And we have one anniversary, John. Mm-hmm. It's Brittany and Morgan Hollyfield. Those are all the birthdays.
Are you eating something as you're reading
No,
these
God,
things?
no.
Don't say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, but no, I would
Okay.
never. I would never.
Okay. Sounds like you had a difficult time there.
I was catching my breath a little bit.
Did you catch that one that I wrote down? Mm-hmm. Are you ignoring anything?
Oh, yes, and Robin and Jared Madison of Millboro?
I can't
Is that right?
tell without saying
Virginia,
it.
celebrating their 12th anniversary.
Millboro. Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Did you get Richard Shorty Osborne of Rice?
I not yet.
Oh.
I was reading from the one list. Well, thank you, John. Oh, you got it? Yep, Richard.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Richard Shorty Osborne of Rice, celebrating birthday today.
There you go.
That's the birthday list to get on the birthday list. You can call in at 434-394-0924. Email us at birthdays@wflo.net. Or you can go to our website and submit birthdays directly from our website under the On-Air Mentions page. John, back to you.
For the right legal advice, visit Terry Atkins Wilson PC, Main Street, Farmville. All right, we're back to it here on the Call Flow Radio Show. Number again, if you'd like to partake, 434-394-0924. Noah Massage and myself. On this day in 1889, Eiffel Tower inaugurated. 984 feet. Eiffel Tower, a wrought iron technological, is that what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. Masterpiece created by Gustav Eiffel. Mm-hmm. Why are you doing that?
Well, I don't know.
Okay. To commemorate the centenary of the French Revolution, was officially inaugurated in Paris this day in 1889. Why are you looking like you're the bandit?
I'm not the bandit.
Oh, okay.
I'm not even close.
We got something going on there.
Yeah, well.
Did I call for something? What did I do?
There's just like a strange smell in the studio right now. I'm not sure what that is. Well,
Whoever smelled it dealt it.
Yeah.
So there. Let's see.
The Eiffel. Have you ever visited the Eiffel Tower, John?
No, I haven't, except for the one at King's Dominion.
Which is not the Eiffel Tower at all. So.
It's close enough. I think it's like half the size. I've gone to that one. Noah's having some sort of issues, folks.
Well, no, I'm just smelling. There's something in the studio. It smelled like something died.
Call out the instigator, 'cause there's something.
Well, let's continue, John. You wanted to announce more this day in history?
1992, the U.S. Missouri, site of the Japanese surrender in 1945, formally ending World War II, was decommissioned for a second and final time. It was the last U.S. battleship still in service. You know what was on yesterday was Under Siege with Steven Seagal, which takes place, I believe, supposedly on the USS Missouri, which would have been about the right timeline because that movie was early 90s, and I want to say it was 92 that movie came out.
Yeah.
And there's actual footage of President Bush, I guess, at the time when they were doing the ceremony that's used in the movie. And, yeah, have you ever seen Under Siege?
No, never seen that one.
Tommy Lee Jones is the bad guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That sounds good.
For a Steven Seagal film,
I
it's
like
pretty
Tommy
good.
James, Tommy
like
Jones.
Tommy James?
I do like Tommy James, too.
You like Jimmy Johns and who else?
I don't like Steven Seagal. That's my thing. Yeah.
Oh, you don't like Steven Seagal?
Not a big fan.
Oh, come on. He's great. American track and field legend Jesse Owens on this day, 1980, won four gold medals at the 1936 Olympics in Berlin. He died at the age of 66 on this day in 1980. Yeah. Your boy, U.S. President Lyndon Baines Johnson, ended a televised speech about the Vietnam War by announcing that he would not seek re-election, stunning viewers. That was 1968. He called it quits. Your other boy, American politician Al Gore, who served as vice president, 1993, 2001, in the administration of U.S. President Bill Clinton, and lost the disputed 2000 presidential election, was born on this day in 1948. It was all hanging by a Chad. Yeah. You a hockey guy?
No.
Never heard of Gordon Howe?
No.
Canadian-born American ice hockey player, Gordon Howe.
Yeah.
Born on this day in 1928.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, did you know clocks in the United States were set 1 hour ahead as daylight savings time went into operation for the very first time on this day in 1918? At least that's what this says.
Interesting. Yeah. But you want to abolish daylight savings?
Yeah. The heck with it.
You want to get rid of it,
Yeah,
right?
let's move on. We've had enough. Everything, eventually everything changes for a reason, right? I think we just need to move on. Speaking of moving on, 434-394-0924.
Yeah.
I notice you don't want to talk about anything else.
Oh, no, I'm here. I'm here, John. I'm here in the studio.
I don't think you're not really adding much to the conversation.
Oh, sorry. Am I
Did
right?
you know that U.S. Commodore Matthew Perry, not the guy on Friends,
Sure.
signed
The other Matthew Perry.
The other one. Yeah. He signed the Treaty of Kanagawa, Japan. I don't know. Kanagawa, whatever.
That's extremely not cool, but you really get a kick out of that.
I don't know,
Yeah.
Hey, do you know who Joseph Haydn is?
I've
Who?
heard the name.
Yeah, but all right, what is he? Or was he?
Can't pull it out.
Composer.
Composer.
He
Okay.
composed
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah, he was born on this day in 1732.
Which makes him how old, John?
Well, it doesn't make him old at all. He's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But how old would he be if he was?
like real old.
Yeah.
Ancient. All right.
All right.
So we're going to keep on keeping on.
We're gonna keep rolling on.
Famous
the Call Flow
birthdays,
show.
you know why?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we already did our birthdays.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Your boy, Christopher Walken, turns 82 today.
Looks like somebody's calling in.
Can you do a Christopher Walken impersonation?
cannot.
Most people can. I can't. I've never bothered to try. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, John.
Hey, Henry. How are you?
All right. Yeah, I hope everybody's well.
Hope so. I hope you're well.
I hope I am. Nobody said I was well off. Most say I'm a little bit off.
Right.
Yeah, as you know. Anyway, Bear Claus. Bear Claus was a brother to Santa Claus. But Bear Claus never wore any clothing.
That deserves another one. There you go.
Well, this is kind of grisly, but true according to his paw.
Whoa.
I don't know if his front paw or his back paw, but anyway.
Right. He's a southpaw. He's lefty.
Yeah. Well, I was told to wash my mouth out and leave it out. There was a young man at college who had run out of money, and he wired his dad. He says, "Dear Dad, no fun, your son." And his daddy wired him back, "Dear son, too bad, so sad, you're dead."
There you go. Got him back.
So that kind of answered that, didn't it?
It sure did.
Did you hear about the lady that was married so many times that she used a wash and wear wedding gown? I didn't hear anybody laugh, did I?
I'm
Anyway,
snickering.
You're snickering. Okay.
Yeah, I'm snickering, yeah.
There you go. If nobody laughed, I would be like the fellow who felt so low he had to stand on a stepladder to scratch his behind. Now you think about that. Yeah. After all, you had to pay some to be good, but I'm good for nothing.
A lot of percussion in this one.
Did you hear about the blind man who bought a new suit?
No.
He bought it sight unseen. I did have a little serious thing I wanted to
Okay.
talk about, if I might.
Sure.
Okay. We spoke at the Rocky Mount United Methodist Church north of Dillman some years back. And on the way to my car, as I was leaving, Jimmy Allen, a very devout Christian man, well known, to just about everybody, and he walked with me towards my car, and I said to him, "Because you're a strong Christian, Satan is going to attack you, and whenever he does, call out to Jesus, and he will help you." Some 6 weeks later, he was bush hogging the backside of his farm, and there was 100-foot drop-off, and he got too close to the edge, and the land gave way, and he and the tractor fell over the edge of that cliff. He hit about 15 feet down the embankment, and his arm snapped, and he continued tumbling down to the bottom of the cliff. He hit the ground, and 3,000 pounds of tractor and bush hog landed on top of him. He couldn't make a sound, but he silently called the name Jesus. And when he did, the machinery rose back up into the air and hung there in space, suspended, while he sat up and got his breath and then crawled away. The tractor then fell, and the equipment fell back. They were still suspended in midair. But after he got out from under it, they fell. Mm-hmm. And he went to UVA hospital. I told you he heard his arm snap. So they took him to UVA. They found no bruises, no breaks, except for his arm. We told him later the arm was to open the door for his testimony to the hospital staff and everybody else he ran into, because they put a cast on his arm, of course. Mm-hmm. For had he did not have that broken arm, he would have probably just stayed at home, and that would have diminished God's glory. But just about everybody knew him and respected him, so everywhere he went, people would see the arm in a cast, and they'd ask him what happened, and that would open the door to his testimony. And so he's not with us today. He went home to be with the Lord a few years back. But I wanted to share that about his legacy.
Right.
You know, very unique person, and anybody was blessed that ever knew him. It had to be in his presence. I mean,
Right.
it was just a blessing to be around him. All right, so I want to share that today. And if anybody has any questions, don't jump over a cliff. Just give me a call.
Right.
And really, if we could pray for you about something, fine. You don't have to tell us what it is. We'll just pray for you. If you give me a call, my number is 414-0096. And if you call that number, be sure to use the telephone. Okay? All right.
Sounds good, Henry.
Hope to talk to you all tomorrow.
Hope so. Take care.
All right. God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye.
It was Henry Fulcher, the one and only.
Yes. And indeed it was. And if you'd like to call us, you may do so. The phone lines are open, 434-394-0924. Noah Massage, we were just into the celebrity birthdays, and I mentioned Christopher Walken.
And then you asked me if I could do a Christopher Walken impression, and I said no.
Just curious, because some people can.
Yeah.
A lot of people that are famous can do them.
Yeah.
I've
You can't?
never bothered to
Well,
try.
We'll try, John. You should try.
I don't really have any interest in. I don't know. I guess
you
because everybody does it.
Have you seen? Have you seen? I'm trying to think. What's the movie with the pocket watch?
You're
Why can't I
talking
think
about Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction. Yeah, that's right.
Where you had that one scene.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, I have seen that. Yes.
Okay, can you do that scene, but as Christopher Walken?
I can't. I don't have the cadence.
You know what he sounds like, right?
Yeah, I
just,
do, but
just try it,
I just
John.
can't. No, I'm good.
You
Fun
can
fact.
Always, you can always crash and
But
burn.
here's your fun fact, and you're going to find this interesting. He once worked in a traveling circus.
How old is Christopher Walken?
82.
So he's been around since what the
Barnum and
30s.
Bailey, whatever I'm trying to say.
was born in the 30s at some point.
I had the I can't do it. I
40s.
I don't have it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Worked in the circus. Wow.
All right, this one you know. I heard this one on the Old Farmer's Almanac. Actress Rhea Perlman.
Yeah. Cheers. That's right.
That's what I thought.
Oh,
She
yeah.
was on Cheers, and was married
Carla.
to Danny DeVito for years.
I heard that. Yeah.
Turned 77 today.
I don't think too short people can ever stay in a sustainable relationship. I think the
She's
tension.
actually taller than he is.
Is she really?
At least on these high heels shoes she's wearing.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Fun fact, portrayed Barbie, not Barbie, but Barbie creator Ruth Handler in 2023 film.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Ewan McGregor, you know who that is. Turns 54 today. He played the younger version of Obi-Wan in those wonderful prequels that Lucas decided to do.
To make.
Yeah.
You know what happened, John?
What happened?
Lucas ran out of money, John.
Ran out of ideas, too.
Ran out of ideas. He was like, well, what if we go back even further?
Well, my problem with that was, and it was what I was thinking before it even hit the screens. I was like, how are you going to make something that's being made later in life look older than what supposedly comes after? And I was just and not so much just in the sense of, I was just thinking, how would you be able to pull that off anyway, in the sense of the 80s and late 70s are going to look like that on film, regardless if it's a sci-fi, because hairdos and whatever else, it's going to have that look of that era. And he answered my question. He just didn't even care, because it's so CGI'd, even by the time, when he puts those prequels out, the first one, I was like, oh, okay, he didn't even bother. We're just going to make everything look shiny and new and wonderful, and yet the 80s versions or the late 70s movies are supposed to be, I guess, the downfall of all that stuff, I guess. But to me, I could tell that whatever was supposed to be happening before doesn't look like it was happening before. It looks like it's happening way after. And with that being all said, let's take our next caller. Good morning. You're on the Call Flow Radio Show.
Pancakes. I want pancakes. But my milk looks like cottage cheese.
Okay.
Oh man, I woke up and I'm craving pancakes, man, and I got everything out and then I grabbed the milk and it's like, are you kidding me?
Oh, man. Don't you hate it when that happens? I barely drink milk, so my milk is good only for the day I buy it, and then I forget I even have it in the fridge. And so by the time I see it again, it's done. It's gone.
It's a show about nothing. The Call Flow Show.
Oh, man.
Wow.
What's the phone
You
number?
can reach the Call Flow Morning Show at 434-394-0924.
Sounds awful
They're
familiar.
ready to believe you.
I know that voice.
I do too. I've heard that voice somewhere before.
So what's happening there, guys, on this April Fool's Eve?
Oh, man. I'm getting my April Fool's jokes ready for tomorrow's show.
That is a joke.
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I went to the Acme store downtown.
You bumped into Wile E. Coyote down there?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, man. Yeah, so this whole pancake thing reminds me of a pancake story, actually.
Okay.
Years ago, when I had kids running around, and my son, he had a sleepover with like 4 of his buddies, you know, and it was on a weekend, and, you know, they were up half the night, you know, punching each other, whatever. And in the morning, they got up, and I go, okay, man, I'm going to make these boys pancakes, right? So I make all these pancakes, and I'm looking for the syrup. And it's like, don't even tell me that we're out of syrup, right? And I'm like going through the cupboards, and I find a bottle of blueberry syrup way up in the top of the cupboard, right? So it's like, aha! So I put that on the table, and these boys mow all these pancakes, and they ended up using up all this syrup, which is fine, you know?
Right.
And then I'm doing the dishes, and I kept smelling alcohol, the faint smell of alcohol. And it's like, what the hell? And I like tasted the what was left of the blueberry syrup, and what happened was somebody opened it and then put it up in the cupboard, and it's supposed to be refrigerated, right?
Yeah.
And so basically, I'm feeding these boys like blueberry schnapps all over their freaking thing.
This pancakes are good, man.
That's incredible.
You know, and then I look out back, and they're out running around like, you know, crazy people, and it's like about an hour before their parents are going to come pick them up, and it's like, okay, boys, get in here. Let's drink some water, quick.
We're making 24 ounces of coffee that everybody's going to drink. I don't know. Yeah, that's
exactly.
a rough situation.
Yeah. It's like, so Johnny, have you ever tried coffee? Here.
Those kids experienced a lot that day, not only getting drunk for the first time, but also having their first caffeine high from the coffee.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Pancakes do make you happy.
Yeah.
So that was one of my failures as a parent.
Didn't know Mrs. Butterworth did anything like that, but okay.
Oh, man.
Or log cabin or whatever.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so Noah, are you still doing something with the Noah Massage Show on YouTube?
Oh no! I hope nobody would have ever looked that up. That's embarrassing. You know, that's a great question, caller, and that's a series it's hanging on by a thread, and people are asking me. I have family, I have friends asking me, you know, hey, when's the next episode coming out? There's going to be a season finale that I'm in the middle of working on. And then we're gonna
not the series finale.
No, season finale. Okay. We're still in season 1, and it's the funny thing is season 1 has been on for like 2 years at this point. Like I've never.
Maybe it's run its course.
Yeah. It needs a closer though. But thank you for asking. No, that is definitely in the works. Caller.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
All right. I think the last episode was uploaded like 4 months ago.
Yeah,
something?
it's been a minute. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I was checking out one. John, have you seen any of these Noah Massage episodes?
Is it what I think it is? Is it the stuff you've shown me, Noah?
I've shown you some clips and some snippets. I've shown you some stuff from it.
Okay.
I think so check this out. I checked out season 1, episode 1, right?
Oh, boy.
And it's it takes place in Noah's kitchen.
Yeah.
And there are these two guys sitting there, and Noah's behind the camera getting everything set up. And then he comes into view, and he's sitting like 2 feet taller than these guys in some obnoxious bar chair, you know?
Yeah. That sounds like Noah. Yeah, making himself
Yeah,
bigger
I know,
than the
right?
rest.
And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, you know, and it's like, come on, man, you know, at least get down to their level, you know? But
Right.
I think I even acknowledged that, you know, that seat made me superior than the obviously as a joke.
Well,
as a joke.
No, that's you. That's how you are.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. The
right.
caller believes so too.
oh man,
Oh, man.
Noah has what we call a wee bit of an ego.
Mm.
Just a wee bit.
That's what John seems to think. I think my ego is barely even noticeable.
Let go of my ego, okay?
Yeah. Lego my ego.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
it. You caught on to the reference. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Since we're talking pancakes, that technically that's waffles. Though.
Yeah.
I'm more of a
Waffles,
waffle guy.
pancakes.
I don't waffle between the two. I am waffles all the way.
Yeah. Caller, are you a waffle guy or are you a pancake guy?
Because
Oh,
people
I
out
am
there need to
both,
know.
Definitely both.
I am both. I've got a waffle iron from the 1950s with the cloth power cord thing, you know, old school, and
Yeah.
that thing is awesome, man.
It still works.
Right. I actually found it on eBay. It was brand new in the box from the 1950s, and it's an instruction manual, had the cartoon pictures of the wife fixing waffles with the apron on, you know?
Oh, yeah, you're going back a ways there.
Yeah, right.
Did it have like the
I
light,
bought one-
the little red light on it or something, or am I remembering something else?
Yeah. You remember the yep.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. And then the red light turns off when the waffle's done.
Yep. That's what I remember.
Oh man. Yeah, it's awesome, man. Yeah, I had one from Target, but it just wouldn't brown, so I got on eBay and found an actually good waffle maker from the 50s.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Riveting.
All right. Well,
waffle.
is it the witching hour?
It
is
pretty
the
much
witching
is, yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well,
thank you
I'll let
for-
go. Hey, Noah.
Yeah.
Check your email on your YouTube station.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. I haven't pulled that
All
one
right.
up in a
Well,
minute.
they haven't given you an email address here yet, right?
Yeah.
They're just
No,
they're just too cheap.
I do have an email address. It's nmassage at WFLO.net. If anybody has any questions or concerns about
Oh, okay.
Complaints.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay. All right, guys. Well, have a good one.
Sounds
All right, you
great,
too.
Paul. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye.
Bye. All right, that's going to do it.
That's
Noah?
gonna wrap it up, John. Any
Yeah.
last words?
Any last words?
Man, you had a lot of sound effects prepared. I gotta say.
I think that's the one we should end it on.